Hey guys, what's going on? So today I have the aftermath on the 1995 Buick Regal, and I want to start off with saying, if you haven't seen the GoPro footage or the heat footage, please go check that out so you basically know what happened to this thing and basically how the Derby went. We're gonna go once around before I say anything else, before I talk about the car. But first I want to talk about, as I do with every aftermath, I want to thank everybody for coming up to me, wishing me good luck. Actually, I also want to address Boonville and Lewis County. This year has been crazy for fans coming up to me. Not that I don't like it. It's just that it's like, whoa, I did not realize that this many people would be coming up to me. It's really fun, actually, be meeting a lot of fans and everybody at every single demolition derby, and being able to talk to them and them explaining why they like my channel. They all have some different reasons. Some are relatively the same, but we all love one thing, and that's demolition derby. So props to them for coming up to me and saying hi. And I always like saying hi, and I actually took a picture with one kid. That was pretty interesting. I feel like a celebrity, but I only have 1.4K subscribers, so it's not like I'm anybody real special, guys. It's just, I just love doing demolition derby, and I don't make money off of this. As far as the channel goes, I don't make money off of that at all. I do this all basically for volunteer work, if you will. So as it is, I love seeing people just support me. It's always a little heads up that this is all for a good reason. So anyway, back to the car. So guys, I took third place with this thing last night at the Otsego County Fair, and as you guys can see, it was a mud fest. Oh my god, actually this is clay. This thing was an absolute nightmare to drive in, because the track had just been redone with new clay, and the entire day there at Morris, basically, I shouldn't say the entire day, from about 2 o'clock on till about the time we got there, they were just hammered with thunderstorms. Hammered. We got hammered here as well. That's what you'll see in one of my previous videos. I was talking about thunderstorms. That's why the car was still in the tent, because we were getting hammered with thunderstorms. The car was basically done at that point. It's just I didn't know whether we were going to make it because of all the thunderstorms going on. But sure enough, we made it, and pulled out a third place with this thing. We just barely got in there. I thought we were going to get in there and they were going to tell us inspection was closed. I think we were the second to last car through inspection, because they gave guys an extra 20 minutes to get there because of all the rain. Just the count wasn't great. So we were hoping some late guys would show up, and sure enough, we were one of them. We showed up around 6:05, 6:10, and got her through inspection first try, no troubles, obviously. The only thing that they kind of complained about was my rear shocks here. And the reason why these are so stiff, I mean, these things are rock hard, is because they're rusted in place. I mean, they are literally rusted in place. I don't know if you guys can see in there. It's not as bad with all the mud on it, but you guys can see how rusty this thing is. There's some more of that. It's just rusted in place, so it's really stiff in the back, and it causes this car to sit quite high in the back end, which there was actually a Toyota Corolla wagon that completely cleared with his frame, went underneath, and his radiator took all that rear end, and it actually blew his radiator in that shot. I hope you guys saw that in the video. It was a pretty good shot. Keep in mind my brother was recording, so give him some slack. But back end, yeah, it's coming in pretty hard. I gotta admit, it is worse than I thought it was last night. I couldn't see too well, but to be honest, guys, there's still, I might have to pull out some of this. Obviously, I'm probably gonna end up pulling out some of it, but we'll see. I don't plan to use the back end too much more. My cage, or this battery box here, the actual gas tank is a little bit further in than that, so that's more like a 5-inch gap or so. right there. It looks closer on camera, I bet, but maybe it looks further away. But either way, yeah, she blew apart seams pretty good back here, and the entire strut tower is completely in sideways basically at this point. You guys can see up there, actually it's actually sideways up top in that strut. The bar actually stayed relatively straight. That's interesting. But I swear I did nothing to this back end that would have caused it to be so stiff. I'm actually very shocked to how tough this back end was. It's insane. For as rusty as this back end was, it was pretty decently tough. Which is just surprising, because my last Regal, I tell you what, that last Regal, I don't think it would have lasted nearly as long as this one did. And some of it, I think, is my chain locations. You guys can see this door is all bent up, but notice where I have the chain right there, and I cut grooves so the chain cannot slide up or down. So it's in there pretty good. I mean, it's just barely in that one, but it stayed, and it's holding this all together. I mean, not too great at this point because it's a little loose, but it didn't collapse like my other Regal did. This is not even that bad compared to my other Regal. It wasn't. It's definitely runnable again, guys. This thing, I'm not scared about this type of damage. I think it's totally runnable. I'll bend this frame a little bit back up, so therefore hopefully they'll miss this in here and get more of my frame. Hopefully that isn't so collapsed in there that it's just going to give. I hope to give this frame a little bit more of a chance to come up. I wouldn't have done that if the bumper had stayed in one piece. Unfortunately, you guys can see it split right in half, and the frame rail kind of twisted and went under a little bit, but I don't think it was dragging too bad. You guys can see it was dragging some mud, but a lot of that came when all this sheet metal, because they kind of came in at an angle, and that's when it pushed all this sheet metal into this tire. I don't know whether this tire still rotates. It might. I can't remember. It looks like it might be able to rotate, but it's still holding air. So we'll see. I'm gonna try to pull all this back out. Got some allergies. But the front end, guys, is completely straight. I mean, completely straight. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this front end other than the crush boxes have actually crushed in a little bit on the bottom there. And that, I think, is after I hit that cement wall. But underneath the hood here, let me just, yes, I did leave my hood prop in. My bad, I forgot to take the hood strut out. So it kind of popped out of the fender, but you hear all that mud rolling off of all that clay. But yeah, under here it's almost completely intact, exactly as it was. The only thing that got pushed in was that lower core support, and that wasn't even in the Demolition Derby. That's from a Bobcat coming under here with his fork, and he pushed it in a little bit. So not too mad about that, obviously. I thought he at first punctured my radiator because I could have swore I saw some smoke come out, and I was pissed, but I was like, it is what it is, you know, they got to get me off this track. So if they end up breaking something, well, then I'll fix it. It's not a big deal. But they didn't, and still full on water, still good. The only thing that's kind of funky going on right now, I already had this thing running, so I'll start it up, but you guys will see that it does not run very well. Which last night it was running well. It's actually worse today than what it was yesterday, so that's kind of interesting, but we'll go ahead and fire it up actually right now. I probably shouldn't have closed that hood because I gotta show you how it's running. Go ahead and turn on fuel pump. There you go. Starts right up, but as soon as you try to give it gas, that's when it has trouble. And I think, I haven't diagnosed it yet, but I'm starting to think throttle position sensor. Here, I'll try to give it a little gas. There. So if you punch it, oh no, it's gonna act terrible. Yeah. So something's going on there. I don't know whether it's a fuel issue or a fuel pressure but we'll find out here. I'll hook it up to the scan tool and see what the throttle position's doing, what the mass airflow is doing. Hopefully it didn't suck anything into the intake. That would suck, but we'll see eventually here. If I can't get this thing running right, then we're not running it Sunday. I don't know. Well, there you guys have it. I mean, you guys can see in there, there's a little bit of mud, but it's not bad. There's just a little bit of something right there, and that's about it. It didn't really suck anything in, so we'll have to see. It might be throttle position sensor, which is right there. It's not terrible to get to. It's not the easiest thing to get to. It's right there. I think that's what I'm looking at. Right there. Yep, that's throttle position. Mass airflow is right here, and this is, I believe, the intake air temperature sensor. So we'll have to see what's going on, acting up here. Not sure. I'm gonna have to check wiring as well, but overall, guys, car is in good shape. I'll be able to run her again. I am sure of that. Guys, I'm not going to take this. If I don't make it Sunday, I'm still not going to take this car to Herkimer. I basically, at this point, refuse to run a Herkimer. There's many people who are asking me to run a Herkimer. Once again, I've already addressed this multiple times, and I'm not going to keep on addressing myself. So you guys already know the reasons. If you don't, go check out my video from a few months ago now, why I will never run a Herkimer again. So until they change the promoter, of course, or you know, they change how they're running it, because right now, nope, not gonna do it. So anyways, that's about it for this aftermath, guys. I don't think there's much else to show you other than, you know, the car's still in decent shape. Still got another run in it for sure. That front end being straight, get this back end hopefully a little bit, you know, tend to it a little bit. I don't want to pull it out too far, because then with all that rust, you're risking ripping all of that out. I'd rather leave it packed in the way it is with the rust than to try to pull it all back out, because you'll pull those seams right out of this thing. So not that they're already blown out anyway, but you don't want this car trying to rip in half, which I've seen before on these Regals. You know, whole end comes up, so don't want that happening. But stay tuned, because I'm sure I'll have some more videos coming out very soon about you know, all the things going on in this thing. So I guess that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, everybody.